50 Movies in 50 Weeks. I'm your host, Joey Hollywood, and I'm trying to get through all 50 movies in this 50 movie box set from Mill Creek in 50 weeks. So, the movie I watched today was called The Beast of Yucca Flats from the year 1962. By the way, a lot of people correct me on the dates that I give here. Don't blame me, blame this. This has the dates listed in each next to each movie, right? And whether or not it's in color and yada yada. The dates are almost always wrong here. And also sometimes it says a movie's in color that's clearly in black and white. So that's what I'm going off of here. I know I should probably do a little bit more due diligence, but the idea of this series is just to give me something easy to do, something to edit and have fun while I try to get something bigger done. So right off the bat, going off of the last two movies, which I know have better prints available, but the prints I saw were just terrible prints of those movies. I said prints a lot right there, I'm sorry. This movie, however, has an amazing print. It looks, I wouldn't say it's HD, but it's pretty, I wouldn't be surprised if it was an HD print that was compressed onto this DVD. Really good print of the movie. So I was like, oh, this is really exciting. I didn't recognize the title at first. But as the movie got going, I was like, oh, it's this movie. When the movie starts, there's a loud popping noise. And then the movie's just, it's like you're dropped in the middle of a scene. In the middle of the scene that you're dropped in is the beast killing a woman. And then the credits immediately roll. And the credits has this name, Corman Francis, Corman with a K, and his name is on there like 50 times. He did everything in the movie. In fact, this movie kind of reminds me a lot of The Creeping Terror, because that movie was made like on a scam. There was like no audio recorded, and it's like constantly being narrated. That's this movie here. This movie is constant narration, and I don't think it was the intention to have it narrated like that, because there's so many scenes in the movie where people are just like talking to each other, and the narrator will be explaining what they're talking about. Very much like The Creeping Terror. But the movie opens up with a bunch of agents, US and Russian, all converging on one area. Tor Johnson is in this, and he is carrying a briefcase with, I think it's nuclear plans. I can't remember it. And it doesn't really matter, because immediately there's a shootout. And Tor Johnson runs in the desert straight into a nuclear bomb testing. And he is mutated, and his intellect is severely diminished, and becomes a mindless, murdering monster who, for the most part, just picks up women and carries them as they're passed out. Just like in, what's that movie called? Plan 9 from Outer Space. He's doing the same bit. He's just carrying women. I wouldn't be surprised if Corman Francis was maybe a pseudonym for Ed Wood. I'm not saying it is, but that level of incompetence is here. Unfortunately, the movie kind of drags for me, because it's so much of just the same thing repeated over and over and over and over, and it's kind of boring. I think the weird thing is I know there's a Mystery Science Theater episode of this, and I can't remember a single frame of it. I can't remember a single joke. I didn't even remember the title until it started, and I was like, oh yeah, it's this one. Yeah, you know, I don't really recommend this one unless you're watching the Mystery Science Theater version, but that's all I really have to say on the subject. Great picture quality, terrible movie. Your mileage may vary. If it's so bad it's good. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Remember, please be kind and rewind.